Welcome, everybody, to the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I'm Scott, a.k.a. Graybeard, and I have with me Liam and David, and the strawberry Jaffa cakes are better than the orange ones. Thanks, Liam. This week, we are going to talk about Ubisoft selling off IPs, some rumors, and Xbox making a handheld PC, ? If you want to be notified of new episodes, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's absolutely free. But first, as usual, we're going to get into what we've been playing this week and get caught up. So this week, we're going to start with Liam. And I know one of the things you've been playing this week, but enlighten us with your game time.
I did get Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because I saw it on a cheaper discount than usual price. So I did get that, and we tried to play together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It tried really hard.
try is the word for it. The multiplayer, wow. We did not have a good time, did we?
It was difficult and odd and very Japanese. So
yeah, it was a very awkward multiplayer experience. I'm enjoying the actual story because I did play a little bit of story, did a bit of campaign. Got to learn all the controls. I do love the weapons. My little chainsaw charge blade weapon. I love it.
Man, yeah.
That's so cool. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. We did beat a monster, didn't we? Multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally you just go in a lobby and you join somebody and then you go with them and that's it. Every time me and Scott went somewhere, Scott would disappear.
Yeah, we'd be like, okay, we're ready to go. We're at the camp, and then Liam would go outside the camp and go, boop, just disappear.
Gone.
And then and if I left first, I disappeared. So, and then what do we do? You had to go to the area or whatever, and then send me the quest.
Start. Yeah. Start the quest because there's a quest to do.
Right.
And then you sort of can join.
Yeah, then you send it to me, and I accept the quest, and then I go to your location. Wow.
Even though we're in a private server of our own,
yep,
we still can just see each other normally.
Nope.
It's very bizarre.
Never saw you on the map, not once, not one time.
You said it was on sale.
Go ahead.
I got it. I got a discount. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I got it on Green Man Gaming. Green Man Gaming, I think, still has some keys, but I got it for it's $69.99 on Steam. I got it for $58. I think Liam got it for a little cheaper than that. So.
Yeah.
By the way, I just looked up Monster Hunter on Steam. 1,326 results, and it's non-stop downloadable content.
There's a lot of cosmetics that they do.
Yeah.
What the hell is all this stuff?
Well, yeah, those are you don't have to buy those. Those aren't
$1.50 to look emo. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And
emo hairstyle.
Played a bit of FIFA as well with some friends, which was quite fun. I tried 33 Immortals today as well.
That came out. That came out today, right?
That came out today, yeah.
Okay.
On Game Pass, it's on early access. And yeah, it's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
You just there's not a lot to do in terms of it's early access. So basically you go matchmake, you can have a party of 4 with you as well. You matchmake, it's 33 people on this map. And on this map it's full of monsters and full of stuff you can do. And you can pick up perks and power-ups, and then increase stats as you're doing your run. And then you have to do these dungeons. There's 12 dungeons on the map that you have to find and do. And there's 6 people that can work in one dungeon at a time.
Wait, is this in one playthrough?
Yeah. All this is one playthrough that you got to do, one run. So you start off with this big map,
right?
And then you have to do 12 dungeons. These little rooms that you have to clear the bosses and enemies out of.
Okay.
Once they're done, you have this wave of enemies that you gotta do. Then you can actually get to the final boss. And the problem is, 90% of your lobby is probably gonna die before that. So, when you actually get to the boss, you need a lot of people, and we've had trouble getting there.
And everybody's dead.
Attacked. And everyone's already dead. So Okay, because the boss
and the guy's
himself,
like, yeah, you and what army? And then you're like, oh,
yeah.
Where'd they go?
The boss himself, he doesn't have 1 health bar. He has 7. So yeah, you need
Liam,
a lot of people.
You are talking me out of this game. This sounds like a raid. Sounds like a MMO raid.
It is. It is like a raid. The trouble is, everyone's dead by the time you get to the boss.
Jeez, man,
so you need to spend the time to look in the world and these dungeons as much as you can, and just like build up different things. But you have to build up your stats. I think you have to do a few run-throughs before you can really get the hang of it.
Okay, well, I got a question. I got a question. So when you start this game, do you level up as you're playing this one session?
You can, yeah.
Okay, but say at the end of that session you've made level 15. When you play again, are you level 15 or do you start over at level 1 and then level up as you go through this playthrough?
No, you level up as the game goes, so it doesn't matter on the run. Once that run is done, you level up. So you can level up that way.
Okay, and so you stay leveled up. You're not.
So your base stats will go up over time.
Yeah, it's not like a MOBA, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but all the items that you get in the run that help boost your stats and items and different things you can have, they all reset.
Okay.
So you can have buffs when you go in, but not when you come out.
Right. Okay.
It's like Minecraft. You lose all your stuff and you explode.
Yeah. I'm only level 5 right now, so it's not a lot.
Steps on you.
I've done yet, and you can get perks to get more stats, and then you can upgrade your weapons. But I think you have to get to a certain level to upgrade everything, and then you can actually stay alive. Because at first you're gonna get wiped pretty quickly.
Wow, that's okay.
And how many did you say you play with? 6 people? 5 people? What'd you say?
No, you can have a group. You can have a group of 4.
Oh,
and there's 33 total. Yeah,
33 total.
So it's kind of it's kind of false advertising. Since it's 33 immortals, you're not immortal, obviously. So.
Well, you are immortal in that you don't die. You just return to your place again. So you're not dead, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it, even though you're kind of talking me out of it. It's like how? Okay, so you made it to the final boss, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how long did that place? How long did that session take? How much time am I going to have to dedicate to one playthrough?
I don't know, maybe half an hour.
Oh, maybe. Really? Okay. All right.
It depends. I'm guessing the lobby should. When everyone started out, probably people didn't know what they were doing. So.
Yeah, it came out today.
I'm guessing people will get more know of it then
Yeah, it's
quicker.
It's 5:20 here our time, so by now you're going to get in a lobby with a bunch of people going, "What are you doing? You're doing it wrong. Your build is wrong. Your stats are wrong. What are you doing? You're doing this wrong."
Here we go.
Yep.
There are 4 weapons you can choose from at any time to level them up eventually. Basically, the first couple of runs you just sort of need to level up. You need to get your stats up.
Yeah. Is it class based? Do you pick a class or is it weapon based?
It's weapon based, so you don't have a class. You just have 4 weapons you can choose from.
Okay.
A sword, a bow, a staff, and I forgot what the other one was, but
okay.
Like daggers. Yeah. It is fun, but if you did actually beat everything, there isn't a lot of much beyond that. So obviously, this is just early access, just came out today. So you probably have to add quite a bit more.
Well, it's probably going to change too. Difficulty, gets evened out and stuff, over stuff like that. So
yeah, it is fun. People just got to, actually stay alive. So
yeah,
that'd
be good.
Experience the full, the full idea of having so many players beat one boss. Because I haven't had that yet. Because most people die, or most people just leave, which is kind of annoying. It does depend on a lot of co-op work.
Yeah. Jeez. Cool. So is that So Monster Hunter Wilds, yeah.
And then I need to go back to complete Monster Hunter. Hopefully, multiplayer will work.
Yeah, I did put Fextra Life put out a beginner's guide on Monster Hunter Wilds. I put it in our Discord, so I'm gonna have to go back and reset some things based on that and make it a little bit easier and a little bit probably more fun. And there are some multiplayer settings though, like how you want to play multiplayer. So I'm going to go through those again and see if it's not something that maybe there's something we didn't have turned on or off, that can allow you. It's like, hey, the person you're with, do you want them to come along with you in co-op? Or do you want them to just disappear every 2 seconds?
And that's just so weird though. Why have that? That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is really strange. Apparently the end game I don't think is that I don't know. We'll figure that out. Well, David, what have you been playing this week?
Oh,
Conan.
Usual Conan. Yeah. I mean, I'm at that point in Conan where I could either go crazy or I could just play a real chill game and I could just build up my base a little bit and I could just relax and explore. The grind isn't so crazy. I'm one of those people that play like games like Conan where I could stay in the base all day, as long as there's like relatively decent amount of like stuff I can get like iron or wood or stone like in the area. I could just keep crafting and building and craft, and I'll just sit there and craft all day, and Gina will be completely passed out right next to me, bored out of her freaking mind. And then, she'll wake up and be like, "There's nothing to do in this game." I'm like, "There's everything to do in this game." But I think, I definitely think that I have the bug again. There was like a good point where I was kind of searching for what to play, and I remember trying to I really want to get back into Conan. So that's why I've been looking up other games. Like I told you, I seen Into the Radius.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about picking that up because it's cheap, and I definitely want to get back into some VR. She wants to play 7 Days to Die again, which I'd be into. I even turned on DayZ for a second. I didn't play it, but I like turned it on as if I was gonna play it. So I definitely have the bug. I wanna play some stuff. I wanna maybe play something new. So, but most of my time has been spent probably because it's late by the time I want to play, and I just want to kind of just chill. I don't want to go too crazy, so I could do that in Conan. I could just chill out and but we'll see. I did play Monster Hunter for like a brief second. I think wasn't it free on Game Pass at some point?
Monster Hunter Worlds wasn't it? Yeah.
Maybe I played that.
That one was on Game Pass at a point. I think it's leaving.
Yeah, I remember playing it, and I don't know, like games like that are cool, but the combat has to be like fun and not too crazy. Sometimes I feel like games like that where there's a lot of things to do during combat, and there's a lot of items, and there's a lot of this and a lot of that. Sometimes, like, everybody's fighting a boss simultaneously, and I'm just like, I don't even know what's happening right now. Everybody's doing specials. Everybody's throwing freaking ninja stars simultaneously. Destiny was, like, getting on the border of that, where Destiny, like towards the end of my Destiny run, it just got, like, crazy. Like, there's just I don't even know what gun to use anymore. And I get a new gun every 5 seconds, and then now I'm leveling that up, and I'm leveling this up, and it just got a little bit too much. I did love like the old school Phantasy Star Online for Dreamcast, because it was very sort of like you have a gun in your hand, and either you're a ranger or you have a sword, and it's literally 3 combos, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And you were just leveling up your guy or leveling up your little guy that floats above you, and it wasn't really overly complicated,
Yeah.
But now I feel like with games like this, they get like too complicated and too much, and then you got one character, somebody you're playing with, and they're just like dominating. They're just like flying around, slashing killing everybody, and you're just like, what do I do? Like what, like So I do like games like that. If they're just overly complicated, and I remember playing Monster Hunter Wilds or Hunter Worlds or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and they put me into this world, and it's just like there's different shops and there's different people and there's different items, and I'm like, I don't know where to begin. Like, I don't know where to
Yeah.
start here.
Yeah.
You
That
know, these kind of games, they throw you in there, and you're just kind of like, oh, look what you can do, look where you can go, and you're just kind of like, I don't know where to begin. This is like sensory overload right now. So
yeah,
I don't know if that was your experience.
it was with Monster Hunter Worlds. I felt like it kind of just dropped you in and said, here's how to play the game. You do this, 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 and then you go here, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then it was like, now go do that. And you're like,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go do that. But then it also, you left. It really didn't feel like a world. You would go from like the main camp or whatever, and then which was a hub area. You see other players and stuff, and then you go to a camp, and then the camp is where they're like, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hunt this monster, and you really didn't. I didn't get very far in it, so if somebody's gonna leave a comment, it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't. I got really bored with it because it's like, okay, you're gonna hunt this animal. He's right over there, and it's like, okay, so I go kill that monster, and then you go kill that monster, but then it's like, okay, remember all that shit we just told you. The tutorial is just like a book, like reading a manual, which is okay, but. When you get into the heat of things, you're like, okay, well, how do I heal? Like what, with Monster Hunter Wilds, I felt like it was going to do the same thing. It was like the story breaks, this thing happens, throws you in, but then it doesn't drop you in the area. It puts you on what's called a sacred, the little bird, lizard running things. So then it kind of introduces you to running and shooting and grabbing stuff, and then you get off of that, and then you fight a little bit, and then it introduces you to some combos and fighting, what buttons to push and how to do this and how to do that, and then it runs off, and then you do like some tracking and some grabbing materials. So it does have an actual tutorial, but it is also the introduction to the game, and so it's like, man, you jump in and you're monster hunting. You're getting it, you're doing it. So by the time I get to the town, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this. I'm like ready to go. It does a very good job of that. And it does introduce new things. Like when you get into the hub, it doesn't go talk to this person for 20 minutes, talk for this person for 20 minutes. You just go to this dude and goes, hey, you'll need this. Here it is. If you need more, come back and get some. And like, oh, okay. Here's how to upgrade your gear. Just click this and click this. Okay, let's do it. I mean, and before long, you're on your way, and that made it fun. It makes it fun for me, because it gives you a lot of things to do, but it's not like you have to do these things to complete what you're doing. It's just options. It felt more like, here's how you can do this, and it allows you to hone your character for, different hunts and different animals and different monsters and stuff like that. So they did a much better job of it. And I'm seeing these videos of people like, you didn't do this, they took this out and they took that out. So it's like everything that all these longtime Monster Hunter people are not liking about it is actually what new people are liking about it. So they did something right there. Yeah. I just hate it for the
it's a balance it's a balance you got to do with like old and new fans. Like, you want to expand the fan base, and I do think some of the story is completely pointless.
Sure.
I would say one of the story missions was absolutely pointless. I don't know why it was in there.
There's more of those,
because it was a mission where I was trying to get you to play multiplayer with me. And I have to do this. So much dialogue. You're in this camp. Tell us, David. You're in this camp, and then there's a village that you got to go to, because you've rescued sort of stranded people, basically, and so you have to find different villages. So you go to this one village, and you ask them, said, "Do you know anything about this person?" And they go, "No." and then you just go back to camp, and that's it. That's the mission.
Yeah. Like, nope, never heard of them. All right, now go here. Oh, what about the meeting of the elder where it's like a 20-minute meal? Like they show you preparing the meal, and the ingredients, cooking it, eating it.
They do have a lot of lunch as well.
It's all about food, man. Monster Hunter is really just about food. Yeah, but it's goofy, man. It is probably intentionally goofy, you know. I mean, it does have some charm, but it is good. I am playing on mouse and keyboard. I don't know if that. Yeah, I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. I don't know if that is a difference having multiple buttons. Liam, you seem to be having trouble with the controller options. Monster Hunter Wilds, I remember it's like, to do a simple attack, you hold down like D-pad, down on D-pad, push RB and then LB and then start spamming X. It's like, what? Like, why don't you just have right trigger? No, that's too easy. Let's do this. This seems to be just exactly how it should be. Right click is light, left click is light, right click is heavy attack. Holding down your side button aims, and you can just really just go from there. But I'm having fun with it. It is one of those games though that you can't. Once you start a hunt, you want to be able to finish it. So when you start a quest, you don't want to. It's not something that you can just save and come back to. You want to beat the crap out of that monster until it's dead, and then go do what you want to. So, but yeah, I'm having fun with it. I think it's. I think if you're interested in it, definitely get it on a sale. I'm not sure if I would like it quite as much if I had paid the full $70, but PC getting it on sale. Now, another game that David, you probably know this game, PAX Day. So my wife and I, my wife came to me Sunday morning. She's like, I've been looking at this game called PAX Day. Have you heard of it? I'm like, yes, I have. Saw the trailer for it, like 2 years ago. Was super interested in it then. Couldn't wait for it to come out. Came out super early access, so I waited. So she wanted to play it, so we got it, and we played it all day Sunday. And if you're not familiar with it, this is an MMO with survival mechanics and building. But the hook is, in the game, there's no NPCs. There's no like village where everybody is that gives you quests and gives you things to do like an MMO. You don't really necessarily like go to someone and level up and things like that. Anything that is anybody you see is a player, and anything that you see, any structure, is built by a player. So when you drop into a populated area, you'll see like all of these structures around you that people have made. And if you see somebody running around, it's a player. Now there are, outside of that area, there are enemies that are human that, they're not NPCs, they're just, enemies. But it's very interesting, and the game is really pretty. I mean, it looks really good. Nice. Yeah, it looks really good. And the mechanics, I have to say, like the UI, as much as you love Conan, David, their UI needs some serious work, dude. I mean, it just is. I think it's just super clunky. This is probably one of the best UIs I've seen in a survival game. We had no problem just opening up our menu and knowing exactly how to craft something, what to craft, what we need, the next step, like the next thing we need. It was just like right there. It just all kind of came natural. We didn't really have any question about anything. When we came up to something, it would give us, hey, this is what this is, and this is how you use it, and this is what it does. Awesome. And the cool thing too about this is that, like, if people have workbenches and things outside their home, you can just walk up and use them. So it's like, it's not restrictive to, like, if you need to make something that's a little higher level or something that maybe you don't have even resources for, you can still go to that bench and see all the stuff that you can create, and build with. So there was a couple that was in their homes, really nice looking home, and they came up to us, and of course we were like, hey, we just got here. Obviously we're wearing rags, so we're new to this. We just bought it today, and they gave us some armor and some weapons and some food to get us started. And we're like, wow, thanks. So we played it for a good bit. Of course, my wife is the builder, and she's already just gathering stuff and building this home and getting all this stuff, and I start roaming around and looking at everything, and this is early access. They're not in like version 1 yet. Of course, it's not finished. However, it's so empty. It's so like hollow feeling. And I remember, have you guys ever played an MMO like right before it got shut down?
Where it's like
they go
dying out.
Yeah, like they go, we're shutting the servers down on Thursday. So
Yeah.
So I played Asheron's Call 2. I don't know if that's in the Wayback Machine. I played that a lot. I played it every day. I really liked that game. There was on the server that I was on, there was a considerable amount of people. But then it got shut down. And of course, they're like, okay, on this date, they're shutting it down. So on that day, right before they shut it down, I logged in. I logged in and went to my town and looked at everything. And nobody was there. Like, no player was. I was the only player on the. Imagine playing WoW and being the only one on the map. Like, that's what it was. It felt so like disjointed, and oh man, it was just really weird. And you're looking at these NPCs and like Asheron's Call 2, I'm like this, like, hey, would you like to buy this? I'm like, you're gonna die. World's ending. It's coming. End of the world's coming. As soon as I log off, you're toast. But that's what it kind of feels like. So it was a really weird experience. And then after like hours and hours, my wife is like, so what do you think about this game? And I'm like, I think I'd rather watch somebody get their oil changed than play this anymore. So she may continue to play it.
It has mixed reviews. It has mixed reviews.
Yeah, it does. It's. I think a lot of it has to do with it being early access, and they're like, when they add something, they take something away, or they add something and something else breaks. We didn't have a lot of issues with it or a lot of bugs. I think it did crash on my wife once. But it is interesting to be able to see the stuff that other people build. You can go in their house and walk around. You can't do anything, but you can see what they built. But man, it is a grind just to make a floor, like a stone floor, like a 4x4 took me like 30 minutes to get enough resources just to make a floor. So
yeah, that's what one of the reviews I saw. The guy said the same thing. He said,
it's like
can't you just use the ground though as a floor?
Nope. Nope.
Oh yeah, we do. We don't want the floor, yeah.
No. You got to have this even. No, but yeah, I mean, it just makes me wonder. Like, you see these big skyscrapers, these huge castles, of stone and wood, and they look amazing. All this lighting and all this stuff in it. It's like, good God, man, how long did that take you to do? So it's, I don't know. It's a really weird experience. One of the weirdest experiences I've had on MMO in a long time. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I played this week.
nice.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm glad I got to experience it. Even though, and it's going to be one of those, I know it's going to be one of those games that's going to sit on my Steam account, and then like a year later, it's going to be like, boom, here's the big update, the 1.0, and it's like, it's going to have all this cool shit, and it's going to be, we closed it down and we shut it. You just wasted your money.
It's going to be dead, and that's it.
We'll see what happens. A flip of a coin. So it may be one of those that I got on sale and I got it. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into some news articles, because do you guys think that is gaming just funky right now? I mean, it just seems like I don't know what's going on. I really have a hard time grasping, like, what is going on with gaming? So like Ubisoft, we know Ubisoft is in, financial trouble. They're kind of putting themselves out there. It's like, hey, buy us. We're for sale. But they have talked to Microsoft and probably EA about buying some of their IPs. Now, what do you guys think? Like, who would you want to buy an IP of Ubisoft? Like, and let me give you the rundown of some of this stuff. We're talking about Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, everything Tom Clancy, like everything. Watch Dogs, Just Dance, which is a bigger game than we know. Rayman. I mean, the list goes on. The Crew.
There's a lot of IP there, but the question is, how much IP are they willing to sell? Are they selling everything? Are Ubisoft going?
I don't know.
Because I'm not sure exactly how far this extends. Are they just shrinking, like cutting corners, just making a smaller thing? Because if they were to sell IPs, I don't think they would sell Assassin's Creed, because that's literally what they've got left.
Yeah, I don't think that would be one on the block. Yeah, I think that would be one that they keep.
No.
Yeah. Same with the Tom Clancy's. I don't know if they'll bundle all that together. Like
yeah, because that's big. What are they doing? Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon.
That's difficult, because apart from Rainbow Six, what are they doing with it? Not much.
Yeah, Ghost
Splinter
Recon.
Cell is supposed to get a reboot.
Yeah, it seems like everything that comes out with that name on it, just they shut it down or it gets canceled. Well, they don't know what to do with this stuff. And maybe that's why somebody else should buy them. If you were to sell
like Just Dance, why not just give it to Nintendo, because I love their motion controls.
Yeah, I would think Nintendo would want to buy that and Rayman.
Yeah, there's definitely games like IPs that would be great for certain platforms. I could definitely see Sony grabbing Far Cry and doing like a pretty good job of that.
Or Prince of Persia. Yeah.
Or Prince of Persia, yeah.
Where's Prince of Persia? Yeah.
Yeah, like what's that game with the rabbits? Isn't there
Rabbids.
Rabbids.
Yeah.
Rabbids.
That was their collaboration with Nintendo.
Yeah, Rabbids.
Yeah.
Rayman can go to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo might just take it. Like, yeah, we'll have the Rabbids. Thank you.
We'll just sue them. We were going to do this earlier, but now we kind of want it, so we're going to sue you for it.
I think Xbox would do a great job with like a game like The Division.
Yeah.
Or even Sony.
How many games that Ubisoft have with IP?
Man.
Yeah, like how much are Ubisoft going? If someone bought Ubisoft, that'll be it. But I don't know.
Well, God, how many?
Microsoft can't buy Ubisoft. They can't do that. That's why they're looking for IP.
Right. They have a lot of studios. Like everybody's like, oh, Microsoft's getting too big. Ubisoft has a lot of studios that they have bought and they have made themselves. They employ about 19,000 people. And just think about that for just a second. 19,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah. So,
damn.
That was in 2024. Might be a little less right now.
But still, that's a decent chunk of people. It's a lot of studios.
Yeah. I think Microsoft should buy Tom Clancy and give it to Activision. Personally.
Is it like Tom Clancy when Splinter Cell started with Xbox?
Yeah. Yeah, we would get games that are not just, big open world, trying to fit that live service game into, everything that's Tom Clancy.
Yeah, because you would like.
I think we're losing Liam.
You would want a Splinter Cell. I'm having trouble as well with you guys. I don't know what's going on.
There's a fish gnawing on one of
Just
the
give me a minute.
cables
Can
through
you pause
the.
that for a second?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through this while you're trying to get that set up. But the game engines that they have. They have the Anvil engine, which is what they use for Ghost Recon. And then let's see, and Assassin's Creed and Ghost Recon. So Disrupt is what they use for Watch Dogs. The Denia, I think is what it's called, is partly Crytek, but that's all the Far Cry games are made with that. And then Snowdrop, of course, was like the Division, and South Park and Star Wars Outlaws. That's Snowdrop. That's a really fantastic engine.
Yeah.
So just those alone, you know.
Wasn't South Park done by Ubisoft?
Yeah, I was just saying that the
wasn't that
Fractured But Whole,
one of the games?
Fractured Butthole. Yeah, that's a good one.
And I forgot about the Division too.
I was gonna say, just to put it into a little bit of perspective, like my day job, I work for, I won't say who, but I work for one of the biggest utility companies in New York, right?
Yeah.
I won't say which one it is, but Ubisoft employs more employees than my own company, and we run New York as far as keeping the lights on.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
So I mean, like, and they have more, like, by a couple of thousand more employees.
Wow.
So,
yeah, isn't that just seems?
Yeah.
It's like we can't lose Carl. Carl gets the ice off our windows during the winter. Yeah, I think that Ubisoft. I think everybody is looking at Ubisoft right now. I don't mean us. I mean like the industry is looking at Ubisoft to figure out what is going to happen with this company, because it's obviously bloated. I mean, it's just they've gotten so big it cannot be managed. You've got so many studios. It is still owned by a family, you know, that is completely out of touch of what anybody wants out of a game. And
yeah,
you know,
I also feel like when you're that big too, it's not a question of like, oh, we're just gonna sell the company and we're gonna sign this contract. I think it's like a lot more complicated than that. I remember my friend used to work for Paramount, and they got sold by Skydance, and that was a huge logistic thing. That wasn't like,
oh yeah,
like he told me some guys on his department got money, and then they left, and then some guys got a new job somewhere else in the company doing something a little different, and it wasn't just some simple signage. It was like it took like 6 months or a year to like really.
Well, you have redundancy too, because like you got Skydance as a studio, Paramount's a studio. When you merge them together, you got people that are doing the same job that you're not going to need. Same thing happened with Microsoft when they bought Activision. Everyone's like, "Oh, they're so mean. They laid off all these people." No, that's because you can't have two people in the same office doing the exact same thing. One of them is going to have to go. It just happens with mergers and stuff. So, yeah, it's like every time they bought a company, maybe they probably just said, we'll find something somewhere for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Liam just typed his way off the screen. He went, I've got important stuff to do. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of weird. But a lot of these franchises, Far Cry, I thought Far Cry 5 was really fun. 6, did you play 6? I didn't like 6. I didn't.
That was the newest one?
That's the newest one, yeah.
It's like with twins, like twins are the enemies or something.
No, it was the one that was in kind of a fake Cuba. The Revolution one, yeah.
I didn't play that one, no. I think I played Primal, and I played
I like Primal.
Yeah, I actually, there's so many Far Cries that I actually looked up, like, what are the best ones, and I think those are the ones that I bought. Primal, and I want to say it was like 4 or 5, one of those.
I like 4. 4 is my favorite.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good.
Because it's like in Nepal, like a fake Nepal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I could see, like Embracer Group or something getting Far Cry and putting one of their studios on something like that. Or, I don't know. I mean, it's just, man, it's just really strange.
But you know what? If you think about it, like we said, the whole selling of the entire company might be a logistical nightmare, and it's going to be really crazy of a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's probably they're probably better off selling off pieces of their
They might
IP.
be. They've been talking to Tencent. Tencent does have a stake in their company, and Tencent, I think, this is, I don't think this is, I think it's just a rumor, but they've tried multiple times to just buy them out, like buy all the stock. But apparently they can't do that right now. That's like a hostile
like
takeover. That? Well, yeah, Tencent does. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
But Ubisoft doesn't want to fully sell to Tencent because Tencent will, they'll totally break up their company and, get it to its smallest form to maximize,
profit.
Yeah, which means that the family that owns it will be completely out. It's like, you're not needed. Your management.
Yeah.
We got our own management.
They don't want to sell out as much as possible.
Right, because they will be they're done, Which I don't know why, because I mean they've been doing this, Yves Guillemot or whatever. Just take the fat check and go. You're kind of ruining everything, brah. I mean, just take the money and run. And we know that one of the brothers was in charge of like every game. So he would go. His job was to go around to every game, and they said he would come in and he would go, yeah, make it open world. Put a tower in it. You find the tower. You open up the map. You got stuff you can grab and make. And anyway, I got to go over here. And he'd leave, and so it's like that's why you got like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry's and these Tom Clancy. They were all the same game because he went in and told them to make the same game. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? This guy's just a moron. So, I mean, this is, I don't want to see them like completely fail, but they kind of deserve it in the sense of like you ran this company totally into the ground. But what I don't want to see is I would hate to see all these IPs just get like sold off like what was it? Oh God, what was the company that had like all of the IPs? They had to sell off all the IPs when they closed. Started with a Y. I don't remember. But anyway. Well, Embracer bought a bunch of it, but they sold off like a bunch of beloved IPs, and we didn't really get much from any of that. So, that was when they bought the.
We don't want that being the
Saints Row.
either.
Yeah, Saints Row got sold off.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't want it to just break apart and then all this stuff go to the worst company possible. But I don't know what option they have right now. I don't know what they're going to be able to do with this. And I think everybody thinks it hangs on Assassin's Creed. But that game could come out and be total ass and it will still sell. There's no way that game is not going to sell. Am I right? It's an Assassin's Creed game. Most people are just going to be like, oh, it's the new Assassin's Creed. Like it's the new Madden. It's the new Call of Duty. Just get it and play it. Whether they like it or not, you'll never know because they're not the ones getting on their phone going, this game's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. They just say, no, I just didn't like it. I'll trade it. So... Oof.
It's amazing that's how that game.
It was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember.
I heard the game's 200 gigabytes.
I believe it. I remember back in the 90s playing a game called Pod, and it was a racer game. This was before pod racing, before George Lucas made pod racing, but it was a futuristic racing game. And it used like Intel's MMX technology and all the latest, verbiage and stuff, and it was made by Ubisoft, and that was the very first game I saw of Ubisoft, and at that I was like, man, that game was awesome. Anything that they put out, I'm going to keep my eye on, and whew, that was a long time ago. Since then, it's, they have failed me. But they are, let's see, 4 entities, and how many studios? I'm trying to, they don't have a count of these. Good grief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 studios around the world.
Wow.
Shh. That's crazy. Yeah. So when is Assassin's Creed come out? On the 20th? Is that right?
Yes, in 2 days.
So, I mean, if you think that this is going to come out and not going to sell well and Ubisoft's going to just go away, you're mistaken. These guys are like cockroaches, man. But yeah. But my pick is, I hope Activision buys Tom Clancy.
It does
something with
it does have to actually yeah. It does actually have to sell well, though, even by Assassin's Creed standards. It has to sell well.
For them,
million or so.
For the investors, right? Because the investors
it needs to do it needs to do well. It needs to rate well. I'm nervous right now around Ubisoft. Right, what are you gonna do?
Well, this is why you should be a private company and not have to answer to investors and just do what you want. But what do I know? So it's. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the launch goes. Now, the rumor is that Assassin's Creed, the review copies are out. The whole game has already leaked, of course, and there's some outlets saying that the performance in it is garbage, and that it is not performing as far as performance is not where it should be, especially being delayed like 3-4 times. They're gonna have to release it anyway, and of course just fix it on the fly like they usually do. And I'm just telling you, man, you can only do that so many times. I know people that are very casual gamers, and it just takes that one Madden, that one Call of Duty, for them to go, fuck this. I'm not buying that again. I'm not giving them $70 for that again. You know, and they don't. Yeah. That's it. They're done. I wish I could be like that. I was like, just like punishment. Apparently,
wish I could do that as well.
40 frames per second. Okay, I guess I'll deal with it because it's Star Wars.
Me playing every COD.
Exactly.
Every FIFA that comes out every year. Every time I play FIFA, I buy the next one because my friends play it and I play it still.
I know. I mean, I'm sitting there. Is it a group of people just bitching about Call of Duty? But we got we all three have like 500 hours in it. And buy the season passes like idiots.
Yep.
So at least we can voice our opinion about it. So we'll have to see about that. Assassin's Creed comes out this week, and we'll probably be talking about it next week. Hopefully Ubisoft will kind of resolve something soon so that we can get over this and not have to talk about Ubisoft in the show every fucking week. So, but
they're a big company.
Yeah, it is big. I mean, you don't think about it until you start looking at like all the shit they own. Yep. It's like, whoa, that's Ubisoft too. They are big. They've got more properties, I think, than EA does right now. I think they've got more IPs than Sony does, or you would know it because they only have 3. But we did get some good news.
I think the thing is, because you don't think about Ubisoft being big.
Yeah.
Because they only seem to release Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. That's all you ever see.
Well, they don't. They release a whole bunch of stuff. They got Anno, which is a strategy game. It's seems like one of those come out every year. There's a lot of games that are smaller that they release that the mainstream doesn't notice. But they're money makers. Well, I think Just Dance probably makes a lot of money. Because I think it was one of those games where you buy Just Dance and then you buy song packs and stuff like that, and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm going
You don't know.
I don't know anything about that. But we did get some good news. Space Marines 3 is in production. Yes. So yeah, they've officially announced it. They say it's been in production, but they're going forward with the next iteration of this, and going to make it even better. And I can't wait. I hope it comes out soon. I hope. I don't know why it wouldn't. Just use the same engine, same graphics, same everything. Just make bigger, better. Just get it out as soon as possible. So that was a little bit of good news.
There's a lot of games that take a long time these days, but if they had like the foundation with the last game, shouldn't they like go back to old sort of development ways and maybe out in a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It seems like now that it takes so long to make these. It's like, well, if you start a game now for PS5, it's not coming out on PS5. It's going to be the PS6 when it comes out. So you're having to pre-production and then get the the kits in, and then it does take a while. But yeah, sequels primarily, I would think if they do this old school like they did the first one, it shouldn't take them another 5 years. I would say maybe 2 or 3, hopefully, because we don't need, don't go to another engine. Don't go, hey, Space Marine 3 is going to be on Unreal 5. No, don't do that. Use that engine. The graphics are amazing. Holy shit, does that game look? It looks better than it has to. So just make better stuff. It does, man. It plays on a potato. I mean, it's just good tech. There's some games that have come out, into last year and this year that look good too. Indiana Jones looked great. Use that engine more. That's the id Tech engine. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks great. Yeah, it doesn't have ray tracing. Who gives a shit? It runs great on just about anything. Make more stuff with that. I'm so sick of Unreal Engine. So let's get away from that I get my blood pressure up. I went to the doctor today. He's like, I'm going to write your prescription of stop talking about Unreal Engine 5. So, Microsoft. This is confusing. Okay, this is. I tried to get some hard facts on this, and I couldn't really. Everybody's kind of going flip flopping. But Microsoft is making a handheld PC in conjunction with ASUS, who makes the ROG Ally. Now, according to sources, this is not the handheld that they were talking about with like the next iteration of Xbox. This is a handheld PC. My question is why? Where does this fall into the market at all for something with maybe Xbox's name on it if it's going to be running PC games with PC hardware? Why? Liam, I bet you have an answer. Why are they doing this?
I mean, I know, I know like Steam Deck obviously has, that kind of Steam access. What does the ROG Ally do? I don't know.
Well, the difference is the Steam Deck runs a Linux-based Steam OS, and you use your Steam library, and there's a big list of games that will play on that natively. On the ROG Ally, it's Windows. It's just Windows 11. It's just kind of like a scaled down version, but you got a mouse, click on the start button, the whole kit and caboodle. There is kind of a front end that they have that makes it easier to play games, but it's essentially a PC. Now, both of these you can plug up to a monitor and have a mouse and a keyboard, and just like a regular PC. There's the ROG Ally, there's the Steam Deck, there's the Lenovo. I just forgot the name of that one. I'll think of it in a minute. And then I think Gigabyte is making one. MSI has one. They're all selling okay. It's not a huge market, But why that's just so weird, man. I mean, why make the reason I say why is because they have people that make Surfaces. You can go buy a Microsoft laptop made by the Surface team, a handheld computer made by the Surface team. You can. Why do they need to partner with anybody to make anything like this? It just seems so odd to me, and I just don't know who is this for?
Yeah, a big exaggeration, maybe.
Oh, we're losing.
Maybe it's just like a more Xbox advertising.
You think so? I think it's just like trying to bring people back to maybe just the brand itself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking more or less
like marketing more.
Yeah, it's more of like a marketing thing, and they're just trying to tap into another market. And I don't know. I kind of like the idea of them doing it. I just don't know if I'll buy it. Like, if, as you said, if the Steam Deck has Steam on it, and I could just play Steam on that, or like you said, that the other one has Windows 11. If this thing could just play Xbox games, I'm not gonna buy it. Like 100%.
I don't think it is. I think that's the point. I don't think that this is going to be like the Xbox handheld that they're talking about.
It's not. It's doing that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like it has to have that quality, or else I'm not.
It's not a Xbox handheld. That's what it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So why make it? Everybody wants the handheld.
Feeling out. Yeah, I mean, they are making a handheld. This isn't it, though.
Right.
That's the problem. I think journalists jumped on this going, Xbox handheld, Xbox handheld. This isn't that. This is just another ROG Ally, another one that's coming out. And maybe Microsoft are putting a little more Xbox focus on it. I don't know. But it's got nothing to do with them making a handheld.
Yeah, it probably will just be a ROG Ally with like an Xbox logo on it. It's probably what we're going to end up with. Yeah. And it may have either that, or it may have a front end. Like, hey, you can do everything a ROG Ally can do, but here's a front end for our stuff that you can play the Xbox, say, PC Game Pass games on a new front end that they may use for their new handheld or console coming out in a couple of years. Now that would make sense to me. Is like David says, is using it for maybe a marketing purpose or just a testing the market. Without actually having to spend some money on their Surface team making something. We've solved it.
It totally is a testing marketing. That's what it is.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
Might be like, hey, buy this and get 6 months Game Pass or something.
Well, if we haven't proven that we are smarter than journalists, and we just did. So that, and we can actually play games. So yeah, we'll see. This is gonna. I think this is gonna come out soon. It's coming out this year, I think. So we'll get some. It'll probably just come out, and everybody be like, "Hey, when is that Xbox handheld coming out?" And it's like, it came out 4 months ago, man. It was.
I bet
you
it'll
didn't
come
see
out.
The sticker.
It'll be like nothing changed at all.
Right,
no one misses it.
It's in the ROG Ally. It just had an Xbox sticker.
Hey, look, that ROG Ally has Xbox buttons. Just a colored buttons on there.
Yeah. I would like to see them do something though with a front end. I think it would be great. Now, this is what I want, just personally. If they could just make something on PC and with their handheld that has like an Xbox console-centric front end that you can run on your PC, and then it has all of the compatibility of the console, meaning I can put in 360 games and just play my 360 games on my PC with that front end. How cool would that be? And you can do that. I can do that now, not legally, but you see what I'm saying? If you have a disk drive, you just put the 360 game in there, and that front end will read the license on it, and then play the game natively using a, God, my brain's not working today. Emulator. So
Yeah.
that would be really cool. That would be. I would buy that. I would totally buy that. But I don't think that's what we're getting with this. I think this is just I think David's right. I think it's probably just more marketing than anything else.
Yeah, I mean
I'm more interested in the next console than just the next handheld, whatever.
the people that make the Rogue, whatever, Ally, whatever, they're probably like, hey, slap your logo on this and we'll sell some more of them.
Yeah, give us some money. We'll put a sticker on it.
You know?
That sounds like ASUS. It's like, oh, we're cutting this deal. Yeah.
Put your brand on here, and we all make money.
Yeah. Done.
You know?
I think that's how it works. Well,
is that how business works?
That's how business works. That's how that's how the game industry works. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we made this game. Sure. We're Gearbox. We totally made this Alien game. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think of the actual Xbox next gen to have PC stores? Maybe.
No. Okay. I see this a lot. I see a lot of rumors that say like the next Xbox is going to be an Xbox and a PC.
Yeah.
No. I don't see in any reality how that's going to happen. Unless you want a $2,500 console. Okay?
Yeah.
So, plus, you don't want to... You're going to be selling something that only 50% are going to use, or whatever the percentage is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that don't want to play PC games are going to use it as a console and never use the PC side of it. And then you got people that want just another cheap PC that are never going to use the console side of it. So both of those people are going to be looking at, why am I spending more money for something that I'm not going to be using? You know, it's going to be a console, but it's going to underline PC. Is it going to run Steam games? I don't think so. No. I don't think Gabe is really going to get in bed with Microsoft that way. He used to work at Microsoft. He knows how they work. I don't think that's going to happen. So just, I know Phil wants to see that on his consoles, but I just don't. Unless it is an actual PC, then no, I don't think that's going to happen. And you don't want it to be an actual PC, because then it's going to have a $1,100, $1,200 price tag. And we already know that they're going to be $600 or $700 when they come out again. Sony's not going to. You'll never see another $500 console from them. So it's that's not going to happen. It just can't. It's too costly to make, and you're giving hardware to people that are going to be confused how to use it. It's got to be simple, it's got to be fast, and it's got to be easy to use, and it's got to open up their ecosystem to people to get them on Game Pass and to get them to use their services. That's all. That's the purpose of a console now. It's not to play games. It's to introduce people to, to get their library on your system so that they're locked into it, and charge them for internet.
Yeah, but that's kind of like Microsoft are doing the opposite, though. That's why people are wondering as to where this goes, because Microsoft are putting their games everywhere. You don't have to be on Microsoft's box to play their games.
You don't have to be. You're absolutely right. So they also don't have to innovate that next product. It just has to play games good and plug up to a TV, man. That's it. And then you have another version that is a handheld that doesn't have to have parity with the big box like the S and the X, just like the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck doesn't have parity with all Steam games. It doesn't. And everybody's okay with that. There are games that people are like, oh man, I really wish this worked on Steam Deck. Oh well. I mean, they get over it, because there's I don't know what, I think there's like 20,000+ games now that you can play on the Steam Deck. It doesn't have to have that parity, but it can be something you can take on the go and play Xbox games natively, and possibly your entire collection on the go. 360 stuff, original Xbox stuff, all of that can be on the go. Mm-hmm. Sony have that? No, they don't. They don't even have their backwards compatibility sorted out. So that's all you have to do. You have to have a strong console that plays the games at 60 frames per second at 4K, with probably a shitload of ray tracing. And go from there. And you don't have to sell it. That's the catch. You don't have to sell it. Sony has to sell their console. Their whole market is based on selling that console. And that's going to be their fault. That's going to be their end at some time. Microsoft sees this and is going into a complete new direction that could solidify them as, when we used to see those movies in the 90s and it was like, you see like these futuristic movies and it's like, oh, the Sony PlayStation 26 or something like that, It's going to be Xbox, Series XS, X1, whatever, named like this long, whatever.
But that's a thing though, because like PlayStation can do PlayStation 6, PlayStation 7 possibly, right? As long as they have their player base, they can make.
But that player base is going to die off, man. They're not growing. Consoles are not growing. They're not getting more.
They're not growing, no. But that PlayStation fan base is loyal to that PlayStation.
It is, and it is, and you got like 60 million of them that may buy that next one.
So that's what Sony are counting on. It's like 60 million, 70 million PlayStations every single generation. Microsoft are going in the opposite direction. But if like I don't know how many Xboxes, 30 million maybe.
Maybe.
If Xbox has less console sales every single time, how long before no more console? That's what people are worried about.
Yeah. Well, it's going to happen to Sony as well. It's going to happen to Sony. I would wager that the PlayStation 6 overall in its lifetime is going to sell less. If there's a 7, it'll sell much less. It's just there is a you gotta think like us in this group right here. We're always going to be. I mean, I will probably always play games. I don't think there's if I can still see and use my hands, I'll play games. It will probably be on PC, or whatever VR thing we have in the future. But to like Gen Z or whatever's behind them, they give zero fucks about consoles. Zero. Like, absolutely, they don't. You hand them a controller, and they're like, what the fuck is this? They don't give a shit. If it's not a touchscreen or a phone or a tablet, they have no idea what to do with it. Their whole idea of games doesn't even match, like, an Assassin's Creed or a Halo. They can't even fathom it. They don't even understand it. It's all just mobile based. That's what and whatever Nintendo's got going on. That's what they're growing up on. That's what they're and they may not adopt that. They may go in a completely different direction because they're not growing up on that like we did. Yeah. So it's hard. I told you, like, my son's 24, and I gave him a PlayStation controller, and I'm like, hey, you can use this, or I gave him a PS4. I said, don't you want to check this out and see, there's some games on here? And he's like, he looked at it for a little bit, and he handed it back to me. He's like, I've never used anything but an Xbox controller. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Like 24 years old, and he's like never used a PlayStation controller. Because, just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
It's man, it's going to be a whole different ballgame 10 years from now. After this next iteration of consoles comes out, you're going to see some weird shit. You're going to see the market really start going in a different direction. You're going to see PC getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're going to see consoles becoming less and less exclusive and viable as a gaming option because they're just going to eventually go away. So
I mean, I think the games themselves, they're not viable as exclusives anymore. By Nintendo.
No.
Nintendo just sell theirs because, but yeah, the whole exclusive of games is going, and I want that to go. So that will happen because Microsoft are putting the games everywhere. Sony are putting the games on PC, so that doesn't really matter where you play. And I think, if there is Xbox from 10 years from now, Sony will put PlayStation games on Xbox. They
will. They will eventually because their management and their business structure right now is not going to sustain those exclusives. the PS6, those exclusives are not going to sell that console anymore. We already know that the PS5 sells. People just go buy a PS5 to play Fortnite and Call of Duty on. You got how many 60-something million PS5s out there, and Spider-Man 2 comes out and sells 10 million copies. What does that tell you? That tells you that. And when Horizon Zero Dawn comes out and sells 10 million copies, that tells me that you got about 10 or 11 million players out there that buy exclusives. The rest of them give zero shits about the exclusives and just have that PS5 so they can plug it up to a TV and play Fortnite with their friends. So I'm telling you, man, it's changing.
I kind of always saw Microsoft as that one company that sort of is trying to change with the times. You know,
I mean,
like
Microsoft are always like ahead of everyone else, for better or worse. They are.
Right, for better or worse. I remember when they started introducing a little bit more of like television into
TV.
their console.
TV.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah,
Where is this
Xbox
going?"
One. Yeah.
You know, and then it was like, well, that was actually a really good idea. You look 5 years down the line, and like I use my Xbox for video games, but I also watch TV on it. You know, like I don't have cable. I watch everything I do on Xbox.
Yeah.
So, everything they had for the Xbox One, it's like, look at all this stuff that you can do with it. And like, oh, that sucks. And now it's what we want out of a console. You know, it's like they got so far ahead of themselves.
Because I think Microsoft, especially with the Xbox One, was so forceful. When
they overdid
it.
Yeah, they way overdid it.
But they overdid it because they weren't talking about games first. That's what they missed. Man, they missed it entirely.
They did.
And they were like, oh, Connect, TV, Connect.
Yep.
And I miss the Connect. I miss it so much. I miss motion controls, man. I miss them so much. I really
Get a VR.
Yeah, they had something there. Yeah, VR. That's the new.
Also, Microsoft are doing something, I want to say. They're doing Copilot for gaming.
Oh, yeah.
I want to test.
David, have you heard about this?
No.
Okay, you know Copilot, like for Windows, your AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're adding this to, is it the console or is it the console and PC?
Console and PC, I think.
Okay. So it will help people play games better. Now, I don't know if they were really specific about that, but it's apparently like it can help you like, hey, I got shot in Call of Duty, you know, Copilot, tell me why that happened or how that happened and it gives you tips and helps you, you know, with stuff. Like, wow. There's like yellow paint everywhere to tell you where to go, and then there's a little companion that's like tells you how to solve the puzzle before you even get in the room. And now it's like we're just gonna give you AI that just like plays the game for you.
Can they add Clippy? With the paperclip.
That's what I was just about to say. I was just about to say, it's going to be a paperclip guy.
Right.
No, you don't have the key to open the door, but you can find it here. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God. I kind of want that now.
Yeah, that would be so awesome, actually.
It looks like you suck in Call of Duty. Would you like a tip?
It'd be funny if you're just like killing the aliens in Halo, and he comes out and he's like, "Did you know Master Chief is actually not really?" And you're like, "What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here!"
He's like on the end of your barrel, like trying to talk to you.
Yeah. Just jumping up.
Hey. In Halo 3, Cortana actually betrayed you. What the fuck, Pepe?
Oh my God. Oh jeez. Yeah, I kind of want that. I'm assuming you can turn it off. Probably multiple times, like Copilot. Like, I did an update and it's on my desktop again. Get rid of that. As long as they don't incorporate OneDrive in my games, I'm kind of okay. I could see where that would help. I see where they're going with that, but honestly, I mean, like, come on, man, you think we're that stupid? Like, shit.
I mean, it's not that we're like that stupid. I mean, we do that with games. A lot of games, for example, if I want to play a game, not like to solve a puzzle, but like to find out where stuff is. We'll look for guides. A lot of us will look for guides or just videos.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
What's happening. Stuff like that. Like, I mean, that would be cool. I don't see how it would work, but they are going to test it soon.
Okay. Well, maybe like, okay, so you're playing an MMO. It's like, hey, Copilot or whatever, can you find me a map of this area? And then it pops up with, a map of that area, and you can look at it and then tell it to close it. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, stuff like that would be interesting. Like, in theory, it does sound interesting. But this is the problem that Microsoft have, is all their ideas now were better with Xbox One. Because imagine you doing that with the Kinect and talking to the Kinect for it, and then Snap comes up and you got the screen. Remember the screen on the Snap?
Oh yeah, I remember that. You could watch a TV show while you're playing a game. Like, I had to buy a whole goddamn computer to be able to do that.
But like that would be cool, but they don't have that anymore. So like,
well,
I don't want to go. I don't do like go out of the game to get shown something, because I could have done that myself. So if this is integrated, I want it to be more seamless.
I could see me not using that at all. I just don't think it's going to be anything that's like, it may be super useful. I don't know. Now, Microsoft does some things they don't get credit. What is that, David? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would use it if it was something like, hey, Copilot, find me somebody to play with. Put out a post.
You're gonna knock at the door. It's like,
yeah, and it's like,
your wife's like, who is this?
Were you looking for somebody to play with? And I'll be like, sorry, Copilot, abort.
Clippy's behind them. Come on.
Is this who you were looking for?
Right. I'm lonely. I need somebody to play with. It's like Tinder.com. You knock at the door. Wait a minute. This is awkward. Yeah, that may not be a good idea, but that would be. It is a good point for like looking for group, right? LFG. For like you could say, hey, find me a group playing this level on this map and doing this activity.
I just feel like when it comes to finding people to play with, there's still a lot of effort that goes into that. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like, and I've said it in other episodes of creating a post in the Xbox and having mixed results with that.
Yeah.
People go on Facebook groups and they look for people on there, and then you got to say, I've seen people on Facebook groups like, I'm looking for somebody to play with, and then you're like, yeah, I'd love to play with you, and they're like, I don't get home from work until like 6, and now I'm waiting to play with this guy until he gets home, and it's like it becomes this like logistical nightmare. It's very hard to sit down and just play, and then find people to play. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort.
It does.
I do use looking for groups sometimes, and it's okay if you want something right then. Like, I need to do this level, and you go look for a group, you just post it. The problem is, there's a lot of people who, I mean, it's cluttered with spam half the time. They need to like fix that. But a lot of people are like, you can join me, just make sure you're 4.0 on your kill death ratio, you're level 157,000, and
you have restrictions and stuff that
it's like, oh my god, I just want to play a game. So there are people to play with, but it gets restricted sometimes.
I remember I think it was on the 360 when you could fill out some information like how you game. It's like, okay, this is the hours that I game. This is, competitive or casual, or, male, female, age group, this and this and this, and it would actually try to put you with people of that same, whatever.
Yeah.
There's no way of really knowing if that worked or not, but I don't know. That finding other people of common interest and common, personalities and stuff is not easy in any capacity, gaming or otherwise.
Yeah.
So
it's not easy, but in the world we live in of technology, you think it would be easy.
Well, I was going to say that maybe AI may be that hook. It's like somebody's like, man, I wonder, can you eat unicorns? And then somebody like in Finland's like saying the same exact thing, and they're like, I mean, I don't know. Just, like if you've got like these common things, it's like your AI knows you. It's like, hey, there's these dudes, like this group that maybe you should join this group. And then it's like the perfect fit or something. I don't know. That's probably way beyond that. I've been doing a lot of research on my own for no apparent reason about AI and where it's going and how advanced it's getting, this and that. I see a lot of videos on YouTube is like, Microsoft is creating the AI that's going to kill us all. Google has quantum computing and it's going to blow up the entire, AI is kind of garbage right now. It's just code.
That's the other problem, really. AI isn't as advanced as we think.
No,
it
is. When you in ChatGPT, I tried ChatGPT recently because I'm thinking about working on another podcast, and I thought I got nobody to bounce these ideas off of. Well, let me just try ChatGPT. Haven't used it in a while. The last time I used it, it was very rudimentary. So I'm like talking to this ChatGPT and bouncing like, hey, I want to try to do this. What do you think about that? And I actually got good like feedback like about ideas. Now most of it is just like, hey, I want to do this, and they go, hey, that sounds cool, and they just reiterate like what you just said, but then they'll add to it, and then always add with a question to keep the conversation going. So then of course I got into like, how far away are we from having sentient AI or self-aware AI based on our current research of like quantum fields and quantum computing and this, and his or its assumption was like 30 to 40 years, and even then we can't say that AI is sentient or if it's self-aware, because to be self-aware you have to have a consciousness, and it's still debatable what a consciousness actually is. So even if it we thought it had a consciousness, it would only be replicating one, or would it? We would never know, So
like every AI movie that's come out in the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's it's like, oh well, I'm totally self-aware and I'm going to kill everybody. No, it's not that intelligent. It only replicates intelligence. Yeah. So and using that like in a Copilot, using that in the game, you have to understand that it's like it's not gonna take the information from you and just make you a better player. It's just probably there to give you feedback on what you're doing maybe wrong, or help you with a specific game completing something. And I think that's neat if it works. Microsoft is great about, look at this great thing. It's going to be massive. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Check it out. And then it blows. It just doesn't even fucking work at all, Yeah. So,
well, I will be testing when it does come to the Xbox or whenever.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if it's going to show up on, on Game Pass, I'm sure when you start a Game Pass game, it's going to be like, boop. Maybe we can, we should go to the forums and just ask them if they can make Clippy. I think that's probably
we won't Clippy back.
Clippy. That would be a lot of fun.
And then he'll come out, and then while you're playing a game, and he'll be like, they talked about this on the Graybeard Gaming podcast.
That would be great.
Get the fuck out of here, Clippy.
If you like me, you can thank. Yeah, yes, maybe that's a bad idea. Hello, death threats. Yeah. No, let's not do that. All right, well, cool. Well, I think that's all we got time for this week. Maybe this will come out soon. We can talk about it more. Assassin's Creed comes out this week, and we'll talk about that probably next week, and then watch Ubisoft blow up or just keep doing what they're doing, which is more likely. So if you like this, please like and subscribe. Catch us next week. We have a lot of fun doing this, and we want you to join us and have fun doing it too. So check us up on Spotify and Apple. We're there on your audio version, and it's weekly. So cool. Bye, everybody.